And let's start by having a comfortable seat as we begin to center ourselves on our mat. Begin by taking some smooth, deep breaths. Ask yourself, what's going on in my world today? How am I feeling emotionally? What thoughts are going on in my mind? How does my body feel? And not looking to control any of those feelings or sensations. We're not trying to fix anything. We're not trying to stop anything that might be coming to us in this moment. We're just making note of it and acknowledging what's going on with us right here and right now. We let go of judgment. Let go of expectation, being confident that we are right where we need to be in this very moment. And we start our practice supporting and embracing ourselves, just as we are. Inhale and exhale. We release the fingertips down to the mat, reaching down while elongating through the top of the head, imagining how tall we become with each inhale. Stacking the shoulders and head over the hips. And reach down with the left hand and reach the right arm over the top, lateral flexion of the spine, pressing the right hip down towards the earth while really reaching out through that right arm overhead. Inhale and exhale. And on your next inhale, gently press on up as we come up to the center, reaching out through the fingertips again. Uncrossing and recrossing the legs of the different leg in front. Reaching through those fingertips, elongating that spine. Once again, inhale and exhale, reaching the right hand down, left hand over the top. Once again, pressing through the left hip down into the earth. Reaching through the tips of the fingers, still breathing as naturally as we can in this laterally flexed position. Ensuring that we're not letting our head flop around down into our shoulder. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, come on up. Once again, reach down towards the earth. Shoulders are down against the rib cage. Neck is long. Inhale and exhale, bringing the chin down in towards the chest, allowing the back of the neck to open, releasing any tension we might hold there. And just try to imagine the breath deepening the stretch, enabling the stretch, and tying it into any movement or intention that you have for your practice today. As we inhale, the head back up to center. Exhale, bring the left ear to the left shoulder. Breathing right into the side of the neck, allowing each exhale to deepen that stretch. On your next exhale, turn your nose towards your shoulder. Chin is still down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, coming back up to center. Good. Ensuring that spine is nice and long. And then we inhale and exhale, the ear down to the other shoulder. Just feeling that nice neck stretch. Opening up. Keeping our breath natural. Using intention maybe to draw the breath in our mind's eye towards the body part that we're working on. Inhale and exhale, turn the nose towards the shoulder. Good. Inhale and exhale. And on your next inhale, bring the head back up to neutral and come on down off your blocks or your bolster pillow. And I'm going to turn long ways on our mat, toes pointed towards the short end. Inhale the spine long, exhale, slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time, adjusting the shoulders and hips, removing any pressure points we might have. So just a little practice of flattening the back. Hands by the sides, bringing the knees in towards the chest, allowing the back to stretch. And if it feels good today, gently rocking side to side. You rock as little or as much as you want. It can be just the legs or the whole body, side to side, whatever feels best for you. Or maybe no rocking at all. Totally your choice. If it's a strain to get your hands in front of the knees, this is when you could use your strap just to wrap around the knees. You can also grab behind the knees. Inhale, exhale, allow the feet to come down to the mat. Knees pointed up towards the sky, hands by our hips. Tuck that pelvis like we practice. Bring the front of the pelvis up, back of the pelvis down, and then press the hips up into bridge pose. So you're pressing through the heels, the space between your knees. Just breathing as we're warming up the back of the body. Nose is pointed up towards the sky. Neck is protected. Just breathe. Your next exhale, slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time till your hips come to the ground. Inhale the knees to the chest. Maybe this time bringing the chin up towards the chest. And if it feels good for you, you can turn the head side to side. And if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Good. Inhale. And exhale, release the feet back down, about hip width apart. Good. Hands by the sides. Tuck the pelvis. Inhale the hips up. Maybe this time a little bit higher to our next bridge. Breathing in, pressing through the heels, feeling the glutes firing, the hamstrings maybe warming up a little here. Arms are there for stability. We can pick the toes up. If you want a little extra challenge, pick the heels up. Good, and slowly exhale the hips down. Inhale, knees to chest. Exhale, feet to the ground. Inhale the hips up. And exhale the hips down. Keep going at your own breath pace. Your lungs are different than mine, so always go at your pace. You never have to match what anyone else is doing in any practice. It's not synchronized swimming. You do you. Just keep breathing with your movements. Remembering that we can always take a break, we can always rest, because we listen to the body, we listen to the cues that we get. And we take our time to warm up here. It's just warming up the spine. Allow the feet to come to rest back on the mat. Bring the hands up to goalpost or cactus position. Shoulders are against the ground. Inhale and exhale. Allow the knees to roll over to the right side of the body as we look over the left shoulder. Now the upper back, the shoulders, the arms are still going to be on the ground. We're just allowing this twist. Inhale the knees up. Exhale the knees down to the left side as we look over the right shoulder. Breathing into this twist, this cleansing pose. Now, if this doesn't feel too good for you, or if it's a little too far to go, you can place a block underneath the knees or a blanket, just not going so far. And you can also move with it, move with the breath. Inhale the knees up, exhale the knees down, and just keep going side to side, or breathe in and out on one side for several breaths and then move over to the other side. Good. When you're all set, inhale the knees back up to center, into chest, and maybe another little rock side to side to help us reset that spine after some twisting. Inhale, exhale the feet down, tuck that pelvis, lift the hips up, bridge pose. Now you have a choice here. You can keep it right where it's at. You can try to put the palms underneath the hips and lift up, or you can just press the backs of the arms into the ground, just giving you a little leverage to help lift the hips a little higher. Again, these are all choices, not commands. You can do any one of them, all of them, or none of them. And some people will be able to get the palms underneath the hips, maybe give a little traction. But if that's not for you, do not worry about it. Good. Exhale the hips down. Inhale, knees to chest. Exhale the feet down to the mat. Bringing the hands just behind the head, just supporting the head. We're going to inhale up for a little tiny crunch without pulling on the head. We're just getting the shoulders up off the mat. We're building some abdominal strength here. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Taking a break whenever you need to. This becomes easier with time, but I like to add it early on just for some body awareness. So taking your time, inhaling up and exhaling down with a natural breath. Good. Hands by the sides. We're going to bring the knees up to about 90 degrees, hips at 90 degrees. We're going to crunch from the bottom up. So we can make it as big or as small as we like, but we want to avoid using momentum. We want to use our muscles to flex the hips here. Often slowing it down gives us more of that challenge. So the heels can come all the way to the ground and the hips can come up, or it can be a much smaller movement where the heels don't go all the way down and the hips don't go all the way up. Totally up to you. Just match your movement with a natural breath. Exhaling the entire way down, inhaling the entire way up. And if you've had enough of that and you'd like to take a rest, you can, or if you'd like to move on to the double crunch, we're going to do the lower body and the upper body together, or you can just do one or the other. But the double crunch, we just inhale the knees and shoulders up, exhale down. Inhale up and exhale down. So nice and slow, matching a normal breath with the movement. And if that doesn't work for you and you just want to stick with the upper or just the lower body, do what feels right for you today. Or if resting feels right, do that. And simply when you're ready, you can start again. Only going to the point that our body says is good today. And when we've had enough, go ahead and bring the arms down by the hips. Inhale the hips up once again, bridge. Maybe this time bringing the palms together, clasping the fingers, pressing down through the backs of the arms to open the chest and lift the heart. So it's like you're pushing in two different ways, pushing up towards the sky with your hips, and then pushing down in towards the earth with the arms. Just breathe. When you're ready, unclasp the hands and exhale, rolling the whole body down. Inhale, knees to chest. Exhale, allowing the feet to come back down. And when you're ready, go ahead and inhale the knees back into the chest, rocking forward to back. And then we're going to try and come all the way up, or just sit up. And we're going to lift the lower legs to about parallel to the mat into boat pose. Spine is long, collarbones are wide, heart is lifted. Imagine there's a string coming from your tailbone all the way through the top of the head, being pulled up and out. And then you can let the feet down to rest. You can hold right behind the knees, or for a little more challenge, bring the hands to the side or inhale them up overhead. Just making sure that the chest doesn't dump in, right? When you start to get tired, you want to lift that chest again. So if you find yourself getting tired, just roll on up, take a little break. You can hold on, or you can place both hands right behind you, then lifting. Just keep that spine as neutral as possible. Now your tailbone might not agree with this, so feel free to sit on something else. And then when you've had enough of boat pose, roll on over into hands and knees into table. Inhale, exhale, sit back into extended child's pose. Inhale forward, back into table. ensuring that the knees are underneath the hips, the wrists are underneath the shoulders. Inhale, allowing the head to scoop up and the belly to drop down into cow pose, and reverse that, exhaling through, arching the back and dropping the head down. So inhaling and exhaling, cat and cow. Think inhaling up, exhaling, top of the head down, arching that back, and then inhaling, allowing the belly to drop down and reverse. And if you want to push out towards one hip and then the other, just kind of flexing the spine with it laterally as well. Find out what works for you and what you like, taking your time, and then coming back to neutral in our table. Now from this nice, long, strong spine, we're going to reach the left arm out and right leg into spinal balance. So your right hand and left knee and shin should be glued into the earth. And left arm and right leg are extended out as far as they go for you today. Spine is long. Inhale and exhale. Bring the left elbow and right knee to each other and then reach back out again. Spinal balance crunch. Now this is great for our back flexibility and strength, as well as our core strength in our abs. Good, coming back up. Now you always have the option, you can continue crunching or you can just reach out and work on the isometric activity just by holding it out, totally up to you. Now let's inhale it up on the other side, reaching the right arm out, left leg out. Now really reach out versus up. We're not going up, we're just reaching out as if someone's got hold of our wrist and our ankle and is stretching us in opposite directions. Keeping that spine strong, not falling down into the middle, and moving into our spinal balance crunch on this side as well. So allow the back to arch with it, just like we did in cat, and then come back out, elongating all the way. See if you can make a relatively straight line parallel to the ground. And once again, you can hold it out there or crunch, whichever you like. And when you've had enough, come and sit on back into extended child's pose to child's pose. Allowing the arms to drape over the body. Good. Inhale the hands back forward, extended child's pose, pressing into the mat with the palms. Inhale forward into a kneeling plank or modified push-up position. Nice long spine, strong through the core. Kneeling plank. Now, as we exhale, we're going to bend the elbows, let the elbows graze against your ribs, so keeping them tucked in, lowering all the way to the ground. Let the hands come to the sides of the hips, palms facing the ground. Inhale up and exhale down. As we inhale up, this is actually locust pose. You're holding it like this isometrically. So your choice, you can hold it here, or you can go through the crunching of inhaling up, exhaling back down. When you've had enough, come on down, supporting the head with the arms, looking to one side, and then we'll look to the other side. Just breathing for a moment, a little rest. And then when you're ready, we're going to bend the right knee, bringing the heel towards the glute. Now, if you can't quite reach your hand, this is when the strap or the dog leash or belt. I'm going to try and bring it straight towards the glute, not flared out off to the side. Quadriceps stretch. And when you're ready, moving on to the other side. Now, if you want to deepen this stretch, squeeze your glute on that left side there. Inhale and exhale, releasing the foot to the ground. Now moving on to a full bow position. Totally your choice, you can give it a try. You're going to bring both feet towards the glute and lift up. Now this again may not be for you, so you can use the strap here just to bridge that gap. It's your choice. You can inhale up and exhale down, or just hold. Good. When you've had enough, release those feet, placing the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale and exhale, push back to extended child's pose. Inhale forward to kneeling plank. Exhale, lower down, hover and hold for a second if you can. To our baby cobra. Exhale, push back, child's pose. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale, lifting up and through. Exhale, push back, extended child's pose. Now keep going at your own pace. Inhaling and exhaling. Give yourself that patience and time. And if you need to kind of get into table and go down to the ground, that's okay too. And if you've had enough, sit back towards the heels, reaching the arms out to extended child's pose. Now you can keep doing this, or if you'd like to move up onto the toes, tuck the toes under, lift the hips up and back, pedaling the feet into downward facing dog. The heels don't have to be touching the ground, but we do want to try and elongate the spine. So from the wrist all the way up to the hips, we're trying to look for a long line there. So if you find that you're hunched forward or most of the weight is being held on your arms, shift the weight towards your feet or towards your hips, however you want to think about that. We're going to inhale forward into a full plank. Push back, downward facing dog, pedaling the feet by bending one knee and bending the other, allowing the toes to also bend, stretching the bottom of the foot, going up on both sets of toes, lowering the heels down. Inhaling up and exhaling down, keeping that nice long line of the spine. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale, push back, downward dog. So continue moving through this, inhaling and exhaling. Knowing that you can always come down to child's pose and then inhale forward into kneeling plank, exhale back into child's pose. Not just with this exercise at any time. Do not feel like you are stuck with one or have to do one. One is not better than the other. Good. Coming forward into plank, shifting the weight forward, then lowering down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Lifting up and through to Cobra, pressing up and back to Child's Pose. Good. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips up and back. Once again, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank. Letting the elbows graze the rib cage, lowering down Chaturanga Dandasana. Gently to the mat, lifting up and through to Cobra, pressing up and back, downward facing dog, and continuing on, keeping that spine nice and long and strong. Coming down to the knees, sitting back, extended child's pose. Inhale forward into table, reaching the left hand up, sliding it down right behind the right hand. We're going to rest on the upper arm, letting our hips stay in the air. And our head is going to just look over to where those left fingertips are. Good. Press down into the earth. Follow with your gaze. Do the same thing on the right side, lifting up, looking over the fingertips. Just resting on that upper arm. If you want to make that stretch a little bit higher, you can press down into the earth with your left hand. Keep breathing. Good. Inhale the right hand up towards the sky, bring it down towards the ground. Going back into that table. Step the right foot where the right hand was. You're going to press down into the earth, lifting the arms to the side, then overhead. Hip. So we're in a kneeling lunge. Now up to you where you want that foot to be. They can be a little bit farther out, a little bit deeper of a stretch, or if that's not for you today, just walk that foot in. So bringing the arms overhead as if you're squeezing an imaginary ball over your head. So the arms are active, they're not just hanging out up there. Exhale. We're going to bring the left hand down to the ground, right hand up towards the sky. So you're allowing the rib cage to rotate with that top shoulder as well, gazing beyond the fingertips. Breathe. Inhale and exhale. Place the hand down, pick that right foot, bring it back to meet the left, sit back, extended child's pose. Inhale, forward to kneeling plank, exhale, lowering down, inhale, cobra, exhale to extended child's pose. Good, inhale forward, stepping the left foot where the left hand was, reaching both arms from the sides up overhead, kneeling lunge. Shoulders are down against the rib cage once again, but the fingertips are lifted. Inhale and exhale, bringing the right hand down towards the earth, revolving the left hand up towards the sky. Now, if your hand doesn't quite reach the ground, you can put a block underneath your hand, or a book, or a couple of books even. Good. Inhale. And exhale, bringing that hand down, pressing down into the earth, bringing the left foot back to meet the right, sitting back, extended child's pose. Well done. Keep breathing. Good. Inhale, come forward, kneeling plank. Exhale, let's lower down. Inhale, lifting up and through to cobra. Exhale, push back, child's pose. Now staying from the knees, or here's the option, step forward with the right foot, tuck the toes under on the back, and then press up into a standing lunge. So we don't want to be leaning forward, we really want our weight centered and our hips to point towards the short end of the mat. Good. Inhale and exhale. Bring the left hand down, the right hand up. Once again, using the block if you need to. Allowing this rotation, we're going to bring the right hand down, press the right foot back, downward facing dog, and from there, we'll just move right into the other side. Step the left foot forward into a standing lunge. Good. Inhale. And exhale, bring the right hand down, left hand up towards the sky. And here's an option with the block. Good, when you've had enough of that, step on back into downward facing dog, pedaling the feet once again. Good, coming up onto the toes, dropping the heels. Bending both knees, shifting the weight towards the hips. Good, really stretching out the soleus, that other calf muscle. Good, inhale, forward, stepping the right foot forward, then the left foot forward. pressing through, lifting the arms up, extended mountain into mountain. Good. Inhale the arms up, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. And you're going to keep that little micro bend in the knees. Release the head and neck. Let the weight of your body deepen your stretch. Inhale up to halfway or flat back. And notice my hands are just below the knees. I'm elongating from the tailbone through the top of the head. And here, you really do want this flat back. So if you could put a cup there and hold it without spilling your glass of water. So we're not rounding the back here. We're really trying to get that flat surface. We're not pressing the knees backwards to hyperextend. We're totally engaged. Good. Inhale and exhale. Allow yourself to forward fold once again. Letting the head and neck release. Letting the back of the knees bend just a little. Sitting in towards the hips, pressing up overhead. To extended mountain, exhale to forward fold. Inhale up to flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms all the way up overhead, extended mountain. Exhale to mountain. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, extended mountain. Exhale to mountain. Inhale, exhale. Inhale up. Exhale forward. Inhale all the way up. Exhale to mountain. Good. Bring the hands to heart center. Releasing the hands down to mountain. Inhaling arms up, extended mountain. Now swooping the arms backwards behind us, circling them up towards the front here. Sitting back into chair. Good. Standing up and from the side. Starting in mountain. Inhale the arms up to extended mountain. Exhale, swoop the arms back behind us, then lifting the arms up. So our ears are between our biceps-ish. Hips are back. Hopefully our knees aren't extending too far past our toes. Weight's more in the heels than in the toes. Chair pose. Good. Stand on up, swoop the arms around. Good. Inhale the arms up. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Extended mountain. Swoop those arms around into chair. Hands can stay up overhead. Come to heart center. Whatever calls to you today. Watch what the knees are doing. We don't want them collapsing in. Some people will be a little more comfortable with the knees together. But I recommend a little space between the knees, feet about hip width apart. Knees are not extending past the toes. We're going to engage a little twist if you like, so reaching the left hand behind the back. Good. Come on back to center, making sure the knees aren't moving around anywhere. We want them to keep pointing forward, reaching the right hand behind now to the right hip, looking over the right shoulder. Keep breathing. Good. Come on back to center. Good. Inhale up, straighten those legs and shake it out. Well done. Now we're moving into our first balancing pose, which is tree. So make sure that the toes are active first. So start by rotating the knee out towards the short end of the mat, bringing the heel up towards the other leg. Now we want to avoid really pushing into our joint, so just lightly press it there. So not on the knee. We need to go above or below the knee because our knees don't like to be pushed sideways. And you're actually pressing into the calf, and the calf is pressing into the bottom of the foot at the same time. Imagine that these are branches into a trunk, and the trunk is rooted into the ground. Inhale and exhale, slowly bring that leg down to the ground, shake it out, and let's try it on the other side, rotating that knee out to the short end of the mat. Focusing on something that's not moving is a good way to practice our balance. And just know that if you drop a foot down to the ground, it's normal. And it's also normal if you have one side that's a little bit better at balancing than the other. Just re-stabilize yourself and start again. Tree pose. Good. Inhale. And exhale, slowly release and come back down. Good. Go ahead and shake those legs out one more time here. And coming back to the center in Tadasana, or mountain. Stabilizing yourself in mountain, our foundational pose. Inhale the arms up, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Placing the hands down on the mat, stepping one foot back and then the knee, the other foot and the knee. Sit back towards the heels, extended child's pose. As we begin to cool ourselves down. Widening the knees if that feels good for you today. That may allow the belly to sink down a little bit farther. Finding space for yourself, physically and emotionally here. Taking our time to once again check in with ourselves. To check in with our breath. And as we're ready, we're going to slowly come forward, slowly bringing the legs around and flipping over to the back. Inhale, and then exhale, slowly roll down to the mat, one vertebrae at a time, adjusting ourselves, no pressure points. We want to move so that our weight is evenly distributed, bringing both knees into the chest. And our movements are very deliberate and slow and calming. And we start by circling the legs around with our hands on the knees. And as the knees come up towards us, we inhale. And as the knees go away, we exhale. So we really take our time being very mindful of how we move and how we breathe. And if your eyes aren't closed already, this is a good time to close them. Or let your gaze be very soft. Slowly circling those knees around, matching with the breath. And we're returning to the center. And then we begin circling the knees in the opposite direction. Nice and slow and even. If you prefer to do this without the hands on top of the knees, that's totally fine. And it's times like these where we begin to move slow that our mind can start to wander. And that's natural and normal. We want to continue being present in this moment right now. And the way to do that, or one of the ways to do that, is to focus on matching the breath to that movement. So inhaling the knees up towards us and exhaling them down. Allowing the knees to come back to the center, separating the knees. We're actually going to circle the knees separately here in separate directions. So allowing the hips to open, pushing the knees away and out, then up and back to the center. So as they go down and away, we exhale and inhale as they circle back in. Inhale up and exhale down. Going as slow as you need to match your calm breath. And coming back to the center and slowly circling those knees in the opposite direction. Up and in and down and away. Inhale and exhale. Allowing the hips to become loose, relaxed, releasing emotion that we may be holding on to help us sink into our final relaxation today. Bring the knees to center, bring them to chest, inhale and exhale, releasing the legs all the way down. Removing any pressure points. Allow the legs to rock in and out, and the head to rock side to side. So we know we're not holding on to anything. We don't want to be gripping the legs in. You can just rock them in and out, and then when they go all the way out, just let them go. Lift the hands up, palms facing up, away from the body, and then slowly bring them down. Our eyes are closed. Everything is open and released and relaxed. There's no tension in our body. And as we move into this final relaxation, know that you have options here. You can also bend the knees. You can bend the knees and then put the bottoms of the feet together and let the knees splay out to the side, opening the hips some more. Any one of these variations is fine. Find what works for you. You can also put a blanket underneath the knees, a small towel over your eyes to aid in your relaxation. Now, as our mind starts to wander here, once again, we make note of whatever those thoughts might be, and we bring ourselves back to our breath, the simple sensation as the air enters through your nose, moves towards the back of your throat, down your windpipe, and into your lungs. From the very top, all the way to the bottom, expanding, and then swirling around, reversing. Allow the muscles in your face to relax with every exhale. Allow that relaxation to now move down your body, one section at a time, to your neck and chest and shoulders, your back, your arms, your stomach, your hands, your hips, your thighs, your knees, your calves, your shins, and the tops and bottoms of your feet. Feel the relaxation all the way down to your toes. And stay here as long as you like, or if you're ready, start bringing yourself back to the room, touching your fingertips to your thumb, one at a time. Rotating the wrists and the ankles, then slowly moving the head side to side. We gently roll over to one side of the body, noting how we feel in this moment. And grabbing hold of it. And once we have hold of it, slowly and gently press yourself up and open your eyes. Using this moment of self-reflection to think about what we can carry on throughout our day. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Once more, an energizing inhale, exhaling to heart center. The divine in me recognizes the divine in you. Namaste.